Today, we are going to make some grass. No, I'm not in Colorado, so it's not going to be that kind of grass. It's our techniques that are so simple and sensible, your modelers have practically built themselves. T34-88. I tried to take him out. It didn't work out so good. Hello folks, it's Mad Dog Merv, and we're here going over some World of Tanks gaming stuff. And today we are going to be looking at the model build I did of a T34-88. So stick with us, and while you look at my smoking pile of metal here, we're going to talk a little bit about this T34-88, which is really cool.
Before we do that, though, we're going to look at the tank that I was going up against it with. So I really enjoy my Tier 6. It's an M6 heavy US tank. And here I built a model of this a few years back. And if you go back in my channel towards the very beginning, I actually did this build on the channel. Anyway, so this M6, this particular one, in the game has a 90mm, very similar to what was on the Pershing tank. So should be pretty comparable with the T34-88. In fact, it should have much better armor, maybe not quite as maneuverable, but I got to tell you, every time I go up against the T34-88, somehow or other, I wind up getting destroyed. Those things are just so nasty. So here's a look at one on the battlefield, and although there were no confirmed reports that one ever existed, it was a common practice to take enemy equipment and repaint it and put, you know, whatever on insignia so that you could make it your own. And there was a rumor that one was upgunned with an 88mm gun and served with the 7th Panzer Division on the Eastern Front, although these are unconfirmed reports.
So we're going to take a look at this thing. It's a Tier 6 premium, so you have to buy it, and that's why I don't have one, because I am too cheap to buy this. But you can see it's got an 88mm gun like what a Tiger 1 would have on it. According to what it shows here, its firepower doesn't show all that much, but I got to tell you, that 88mm gun, it's what they use on the Tier 7 Tiger 1. It's the same gun, and this is a Tier 6 tank. So for a Tier 6, this thing packs a real wallop. As far as its mobility, its speed around the battlefield, it's pretty quick. I mean, it's a T-34, but it is fairly lightly armored, so it's easy to take out if you can hit it with your Tier 5 through 7 tank. But the main thing is you got to stay away from that gun. That thing just packs a real punch. Pretty cool looking tank. And so let's look at the model that I built to replicate this.
Of course, I do most of my modeling with armor in 1/35th scale, and this whole World of Tanks series that I've done is in 1/35th scale. So I had to make some decisions on what kit and what not exactly I wanted to use. I first started seeing these on the battlefield a couple of years ago, and I thought, I gotta build a model of this. This thing's just cool, but man, this thing's deadly. I don't know that I've ever knocked one out. It's not that they got great armor, it's just their gun always takes me out. So I had a Dragon kit that was pretty much finished. It was a T34-85 late model, and I thought this will work great. I really am not that much into Russian armor, but this will work really good. So I chopped the barrel, because I'd already had the turret together, and I chopped the barrel off, and not sure which one I really wanted to use, so I studied in the game what exactly it had on it, and I thought, well, the one that is on the Dragon Tiger 1 should be just fine. And I had plenty of those laying around from, because I have a lot of Dragon kits. So I went ahead and I took that particular gun and mounted that on the front. In the game, that stowage box that's on the back of a Tiger 1 that's on the back of the turret, well, again, I had a spare one of those, and guess what? It fits perfect on the back of the turret of the T34-85. So here is my version of it. And I knew that I needed to change the paint color. So I painted this with like a 1943 Dunkel Garoon, or whatever it was. And the tester's paint is what I used to paint this thing overall in kind of a German green. And then I took some lighter gray, and I don't even recall which light gray it was, but just did these kind of wisps on there as it appears in the game. Now in the game it has 11, 1, three ones on the side. And well, I didn't have all of that in my decals. So it only has two, it only has two number ones on each side. But a big old iron cross there on the back end, which I think looks really cool on this thing. Now, apparently this was one of a kind. This tank is based on, well, it's fiction. So there were stories that, because there were a lot of these knocked out on the Eastern Front, and there were stories that the Russians captured some and put an 88mm, their 88mm gun in it. Now, there appears to be one story where there was one that was without a turret, and they put a large caliber gun on a platform on top of it, but nothing really confirmed. No pictures exist of anything like this. So again, this is kind of conjecture. Maybe it existed, maybe it didn't. But no matter what, this looks flippin' cool. Look at the look at that gun and that bin on the back of the turret. This thing just looks mean. And I'll tell you what, it knocks me out every flippin' time, no matter what I'm playing on the battlefield. The hit points that this thing puts out is just awesome. So I hope you like this build as much as I enjoyed doing it. I do need to add a few little, like the little stars on the barrel and things like that, I know. Let's take a look at it now as if it was photographed on the battlefield in World War II, shall we?